Yes guys, what's up again? Welcome back to my channel, people. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, trust me, how to survive in India. You understand? Hey, first I want to say all of the Indian subscribe to my channel right now, please. And also over this music channel named One Code Music, okay? Please survive in India manufacturing slums. People, let's get right into it. But this one is a documentary, all right? We're gonna check it out.
Dharavi, one of the world's largest slums.
Wow.
An entire city within a city. Over 1 million souls packed into just 2 square kilometers in the very heart of Mumbai. So they're happy for this place to exist.
People in India, bro. Yo.
Happy. The government is happy.
A metropolis boasting the third most billionaires on the planet. Here, the ultra wealthy live alongside millions in slums just like this that patchwork the city. But I've been told that these places are more than just overcrowded alleyways, that they are productivity powerhouses, generating over 1 billion in annual output.
Wow.
And there's something that I just need to square about that. Is this a place of squalor and inactivity, or a hub?
I would like to visit in India, bro. One day.
Productivity, innovation, of food and culture? I needed to find out. Nearly half of Mumbai's population live in slum areas.
They have nice weather, bro.
Homes made of scrap metal and tarps, standing right beside towering luxury skyscrapers. This way of life is tough, but Dharavi is far from a pity party. This place, it's a goddamn beehive of hustle. This area is almost like this just giant manufacturing hub in the middle of Mumbai, just like a giant slum manufacturing station. These main streets are where workers are coming from other areas of India, although many people obviously just live here as well. And then in amongst the alleyways, that's where all the action goes down. The individual businesses that fuel what, when you add up the total, is a pretty substantial industry. I'm meeting up with Javni, a young woman who spent her entire life in Dharavi, and she's volunteered to help guide me through this insane world that most people just never see. We start out visiting a metal casting shop, straight out of the Middle Ages, but with a Dharavi twist. What? Where are we going? 3 guys, slick with sweat, are clustered around a furnace in...
Bro, I want to say India, these people is very hard working, bro. You understand? Trust me.
A tiny room. The air, it is thick enough to chew, heavy with fumes. There's one small fan that fuels the intake of air and one that is the exhaust. And this room is just tiny. These guys are sitting in here all day melting down their stuff to make these sort of aluminium decorations. I can taste it in my mouth. Now we've been in here for a good 30 minutes just trying to get these shots. But man, what a sort of mini factory, incredible little place.
And
just one little blower in the corner there, powering this furnace. Is that the word? Behind us, charcoal as the fuel and scrap aluminium turned into these decorations. Today, we're making aluminium grates. We start with the mold. A layer of fine black sand is pounded around an object that we're looking to duplicate. More sand is piled on. It's pounded tight until a fine imprint remains. The initial item is then carefully lifted out. We check for any imperfections and seal the mold shut. Next, molten aluminium, glowing red, is scooped from the furnace and poured with precision into the mold. After cooling for a second, the top is lifted off and we extract our freshly cast grate. Next, a worker breaks away any excess from the finished piece, and one by one, they're racked up. Everything here is coated in a
Y'all subscribe right now, people. Subscribe right now, please.
layer of soot, an almost post-apocalyptic vibe. But holy hell, are these guys fast. They're cranking out aluminium grates, belt buckles, hardware for the leather industry, and it's rough, dirty work, but there's a rhythm to it. A brutal efficiency that's almost hypnotic. What an incredible little mini factory. That is, that's crazy. Hello. Guys, this video has a paid partnership with BetterHelp that I really want to tell you about. See, I'm a pretty anxious guy. I don't know if that comes across on camera or not, but there have been times when pretty normal life stuff like changing jobs, being in a bad relationship, moving house, stuff like that would just completely paralyze me. And I never thought of myself as someone who needed therapy. I kind of thought of that as maybe a little bit weak, or that I needed to be going through a full-blown crisis, that I needed to have some kind of clinical conditions, be on medication or something like that. But in reality, once I did try it, what it ended up being was just a pretty useful tool for getting past something that was really holding back my development. And it's no word of a lie to say that I wouldn't be able to do something like this channel without it. And BetterHelp, I think, is the easiest way you could possibly imagine to try something like therapy, to see if it is for you. You just fill out this quick questionnaire, and they're gonna match you with a licensed therapist in a few days. If that person's not a match, you can swap it up, just a few clicks, and they're gonna match you with someone else. And so, look, if you're interested in checking it out, you can click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/Andrew Fraser for 10% off your first month. Maybe it works out for you like it did for me. Back to the video. Oh man, I can still taste it. My throat, my lungs, that cannot be healthy. Sucking down those aluminium fumes all day. And from here, we descend into the alleyways to Javnee's neighborhood, and we're surrounded by people collecting water from communal taps outside their homes. Most guys will shower outside, but girls inside, of course. They're sort of public bathrooms you pay per use, because again, there's no running water most of the day inside, and the water pipes just run street side, along the outside of the houses. They're only on for a couple of hours a day anyway, but yeah, no real plumbing here. So residents must plan their entire days around the time when they can fill up large containers. You'll see large drums and buckets outside just about every home storing this limited supply. The lack of indoor plumbing means that many daily activities happen outside in public view in the morning. Ladies are often doing the dishes, men are outside bathing. In these parts, privacy, I guess it's kind of a luxury. Is it like that everywhere in Rahavi?
Yes.
They always just have water 6:30 to 9:30. Wow. And it's always outside the road like this?
Yes.
Wow.
The main business we see is clearly the garment industry. It's everywhere. Endless lines of workers carrying bundles of clothes and fabric up and down treacherously steep staircases. It literally has a rope on it so that you're able to hold onto something as you ascend. So coming down with, I don't know, 20 kilos of fabric on your back, not the easiest, I imagine. Javnee's brother runs one of these operations, a sewing gig out of what looks like a tin can. But step inside and bam, there's a mini sweatshop pumping out large quantities of clothes. How long has your brother had this factory?
10 years.
10 years?
10.
There's not even an inch of space wasted in these locations. This room, these two rooms really are part of Janvi's brother's factory. So it starts here, fabric, and then they cut it into pieces. And then they stitch it all together.
Yes.
And then the final step is the press. And that's it, clothes. And this shirt you're wearing, this was made by your brother?
Yes.
The room through the back there is rented out to another factory. They're making iPad covers. And it is hot as hell in this shared building. pretty incredible place. They have small sheets of polystyrene insulation underneath asbestos roofing, a small bathroom in the corner. It's just incredible just how much stuff is getting manufactured, made in these, just every single building. Every inch of it is used to produce something.
Indians, they used to that step, bro. They just can just step down fast, bro. Trust me.
And as we walk around this garment district, I realised it's not just about sewing. The entire manufacturing chain happens here in this slum.
Let this guy come past. These alleyways just, I mean, there's so much manufacturing in here that it's just, you've got to dodge out of the way. They're moving raw materials in, shipping finished goods out. It's just an incredible labyrinth of manufacturing, just tiny little manufacturing, street eateries, an endless, seemingly endless suburb.
Thread is woven into fabric. It's embroidered, spun into lace, dyed in the very same alleyways. Patterns are cut in crammed rooms, sewn, ironed, and boxed for distribution.
So guys, below is sort of like where all of the dyeing is done, and so up top here is where the workers are sleeping and where they have all of the already dyed lace that is getting dried out. It's not all lace, I do see some other bits, but you know, it's sort of like a smaller sub-factory, perhaps subcontracted factory that is used to dye certain individual components for the larger manufacturing process of garments here.
The real power of Drahavi is that nothing is getting outsourced. Goods start out here in their rawest of material forms, and they come out complete packaged products.
This is a
Very
toothbrush?
good. Yeah, the toothbrush. Actual natural toothbrush.
Really?
And Americans are buying this now. They are coming to this.
Have you used this before? No? Alright guys, so this is like a traditional toothbrush. Maybe I'd like to try it. How do I do it? Like this? I chew it? I need a demonstration! Somebody help! So you just kind of chew it and work your way along. That is kind of strong, really bitter, insanely bitter actually. So I think basically what happens, you chew this end until you kind of get those almost bristle-like things, and then you can kind of work your way up and down the front. I've got to admit, I'm not very good at it. My one is still very barky, as you would imagine from just trimming off a branch of a tree like this. And yeah, I think there's a reason we moved on to brushes, but this is probably very functional. Interesting that it's still sold here. I'm told that it's very good for you. Really, when they say city within a city, it is true. Within Drahavi, there's absolutely everything. It's sort of a self-sustaining city with its own giant economy. Hello. Yeah.
Everything is here, and we happen upon a leather tanning district.
One of the areas where they make leather essentially from scratch, just goat skins, and within just Drahavi, you get the entire finished product. Belts, including the buckles, which are made here, bags, leather jackets, you name it. It starts out with animal skins.
Due to religious reasons, the city of Mumbai consumes a monstrous amount of goat, and the leather industry in Drahavi is huge. We step into a 3-story home, and the moment we walk in, the air is thick with humidity.
And it just cannot be good for you. I can tell you right now, just breathing these things in, you just get that gut, visceral reaction. I do not think it's in my head. You can taste it in the air.
In the corner, a massive wooden drum spins, filled with raw hides soaked in chemicals designed to remove hair and preserve the leather.
So it starts out being loaded into this drum with a large amount of chemicals. The chemicals both help remove the fur and preserve the skin so that it does not go off. It stays in here for hours and hours, and then it's just left in the bottom of this factory floor. Factory's kind of a stretch, but you get what I mean. To just soak in amongst God knows how toxic these chemicals are.
The entire floor is soaked with these substances, Piles of soaked goat hides are everywhere, and they hang from the ceiling also. It is an almost
Guys, after they finish it, came out good, bro. It's come out good.
dystopian scene. Just 2 workers process all these hides. One man is continually running them through a large press, squeezing out the water one by one, while an old grandmother racks them up and collects them ready to dry.
We're heading back up. I'm telling you, it is a multi-level, dystopian-esque manufacturing city.
We head upstairs to the 3rd floor, which gets a bit of airflow, and I guess because of this is used to dye and color the hide.
This is where it gets its color. Listen to that music.
2 workers paint them one by one. The smell of leather paint hits hard.
Here for 1 minute, 1 second.
And as you can see behind me, everything is hung in this room to dry out.
Row upon rows of painted hides dry in the cramped room above us.
Pretty incredible. This entire factory right now seems to be run by just 4 people. One guy doing the initial preservation hair removal process with a grandma, and these 2 gentlemen up here just doing the painting. Yeah, the volume here is wild. Just thousands and thousands and thousands of brown goat skins. I kind of feel bad for the goats in India. They sort of didn't get the free religious pass that many of the animals do here, you know? It's like goats and chickens, maybe sheep, all get a kind of a raw deal if you ask me. Sorry, buddy. We're gonna be making some belts out of you today.
People, subscribe if you want a belt out of this goat skin. Subscribe right now, okay? If you don't want it or need it, still subscribe. They make good, bro.
We're on our way to one more slum where I have heard the entire economy revolves around recycling plastic.
It's where old goods are given a new life. Dumps near this area handle an unbelievable volume of waste. But the real value lies in how they process it. Intensive disaggregation and segregation are key to squeezing out value from trash. And here they are the masters of it.
And as you see, there are a lot of people who are working here, and they've been working with us for more than 10 years now.
So how many tons of trash comes here
Our expected amount is 2.5 tons
per
day.
per day?
Per day.
Wow.
It starts at the dump, where workers of various organizations sort through a mountain of refuse. Cardboard, plastic, aluminium, everything's got a place. Everything's got some kind of value. Once sorted into a rough category, it heads off to the next stage of recycling, another location within the slum.
Hit that guy, you have to go like this. Trust me.
So we have a sort of sub-segregation. There's large bags of waste plastic. These guys are both separating them out into their individual kinds and then breaking them down into smaller chunks that can be fed into recycling machines. And once everything has sort of been broken down into smaller, multiple pieces of plastic, we end up through a doorway like this.
A stack of unsorted plastic might have little use or value, but once it's been broken down, it can be resold and used for much more. The more precise the sorting, the higher the price.
Pretty cool, right?
And so we follow the segregated plastic to a recycling alleyway where it arrives by the truckload.
So back in these alleyways on the inside of the dump, we have sort of the already sorted, processed, large bags, just huge bags of all of the various types of waste that can be recycled, and that's a business.
Every bag is weighed and accounted for like it's solid gold. It's carried through this maze of recycling factories and storage rooms.
Obviously it can't weigh that much because it's loose plastic. The size is giant and there's just one guy carrying the entire lot on his head back and forth through these alleyways. Kind of nuts. I don't even know how it doesn't get stuck.
And then the transformation begins. Slum businesses buy this trash in huge quantities. Color sorting starts next. Long assembly lines of workers tirelessly organize the plastic by color. at least roughly. They fill crate after crate.
We got whites, clears, reds, greens, pinks, blues. I don't know where it goes there.
And once sorted, it is once again packaged into a massive canvas bag and warehoused, ready for the chipping. The main event and final step. They're turning chunks of plastic into tiny, relatively uniform pieces ready to be melted down and remolded into whatever product the buyer wishes.
And it looks dangerous as hell. I wish somebody would invest in a pusher for that guy, because it's just a matter of time till he loses that arm. That was giving me the freakouts.
It is loud, hot, but goddammit if it isn't relatively efficient.
It's kind of crazy. It's almost like a 2-level slum. There's so much traffic going through this area that they have a raised walkway. And then below us, just a slum community.
Delving deeper into the endless alleyways, we come across what is clearly the pottery district.
It is just thick with smoke, these huge kilns just in amongst the alleyways, ladies carrying everything on their heads. Each household seems to have their own family working on large amounts of clay. It is pretty incredible that you can sort of break up this slum into manufacturing sectors, and there's nothing that they don't seem to be able to make here.
Inside one family's home, I watch potters work like they're on autopilot, turning out pieces at a lightning speed.
They build sort of like a giant pyramid of clay on top of the wheel, and they're able to make 15, 20 glasses from that one block of clay. They just level it down, cut it off with a piece of string, next glass, next glass, next glass. Before you know it, your entire room is filled with these drying chai glasses. I had enough watching. This gentleman has been kind enough to volunteer to try and teach me how to make one of these small chai glasses. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this, but never going to get another opportunity to do this, right? Let's try. Here we go, guys. I have a giant pyramid of clay in front of me. It seems to be sectioned off, although that could have just been his fingers. Who knows? All right, a little bit of water, and then push down here. All right, as you can see, there's a little bit of a language barrier. I'm pushing down. I'm definitely going to screw this up. I'm going wide. All right, now we're going to sort of like separate out the base. He wants hands on top. We're sort of just forming a wide wedge. Oh no, I'm losing symmetry. I can feel it. Oh no! All right, one failed. Time for number 2. Turns out, index finger inside, not thumb like I was doing. And I'm going to be more careful with the base this time. We're really getting a really wide flare on this thing. Oh, and then we're going to break it off. All right, he's got a piece of string. All right, I'm going to call that a win. Well, I think I got fingerprints all over that thing. All right, it looks nothing like the rest of the chai glasses that are around here, but I'm calling that a W. Successfully made my first piece of pottery. Are we gonna try it? Oh my God. I think I did do that once in kindergarten, but it's fun to try again. All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's just say I'll be sticking to making these kind of YouTube videos. The pots are turned, dried for a day or so, then loaded into the large square kilns. The kilns have no chimney or stack on.
Things like these things make like in any size, bro.
Instead, the air is held in by thick layers of felt. Intakes are right at the bottom of these walls.
These are the kilns that sit directly behind the shop. This is where everything is fired. So I think what I've gathered from this guy is that the fuel is actually just sort of like a sawdust. They just pack this entire thing with powder and allow it to smolder all day. There's obviously not all that much oxygen that's making its way in.
And it seems to me that these kilns, running endlessly, continually envelop this entire district in a thick haze or fog and the scent of wet, smoky clay.
I don't want to live right there, bro. Especially right there, no.
Guys, this is first class. Very, very different from the kind of first class I'm used to.
Doors and that train, no door, guys. Oh my god.
Our final stop though is a whirlwind tour of Dobby Cats, the laundry slum.
I literally forgot to do my laundry coming in here to Mumbai, and luckily we found this entire community that survives on a sort of communal laundry business. Let's check it out.
Here, rows of concrete washing basins line the fronts of each home. Each is equipped with a beating stone used to pound dirt from stubborn fabrics.
So first, scrubbing it through with the bleach, the soap, pounding the living hell out of it, and then we move on to the fresh water to sort of wash it out. It doesn't look all that fresh at this point to me, but hey, that's how it goes down.
It's a labour-intensive process. It speaks to the hard work and determination of these residents. We pass by ironing stations where workers are not only pressing clothes, but also live one small storage box below. They then eat and sleep on the ironing boards when they're not at work.
So guys, 4 a.m. start, 1 hour break per day. Right now it's lunchtime, so these guys are getting the rest that they get today.
Nearby, large boiling drums sterilize medical scrubs.
Why do they want their clothes hand washed like this?
Yeah, hand wash clothes better.
It's better.
Better. It's a wash clothes, washing clothes, wrap clothes.
It's going to be cleaner.
Yeah, clean.
Machines are used here, but only for processing freshly manufactured clothes during their first wash or softening cycle.
How does this work? Is it all one business, or is each individual family one
Each
business?
clothes is a one family, one customer.
I see.
Uniquely, they use open-top large spinning dryers to get a lot of the water out before they are hung to dry.
That's the majority of the work. Then hanging it is just to get it that really, really buttery dry. Buttery dry? You know what I mean. Dry. So one thing that is pretty interesting is just all of the hanging.
Hey, follow me right now on Instagram, okay? Yes.
Done by a twisted rope. There are no pegs or anything like that. Twisted really tight. They just thread in two corners of the clothes, hang it nice and wide. Looks like it works perfectly. How much money do you think each family makes per month?
Every day workers 300 rupees. 18,000 1 month. It's a different clothes.
Alright guys, I've been told we can climb up to the second level of this thing. One strange thing is just how much of a maze this laundry slum is. And so we're gonna slide on up and see if we can get to the very, very top level here. It is kind of odd because these are like people's houses that you're just sort of walking right past, people sleeping. And this is like where you really capture the insane contrast of this place. Just this slum in amongst skyscrapers. Will this continue? Is the government going to shut down this place?
Yeah, the government is a help.
They help it.
Help. It's a water supply.
So they're happy for this place to exist.
Happy. It's the government is happy.
They support it.
It is a people, cheap people, it's a support.
Man, they're kind of like the oddest thing about this place is just how weirdly beautiful it is. It's such a crazy community. I've never seen anything quite like this. That just this whole bunch of families can network together, build like a reputation for this district, this little corner in between skyscrapers, malls. It's just like a living, breathing factory. Absolutely wild.
And as we navigate this labyrinth of staircases and clotheslines and washing stations, finally a thunderstorm breaks. And in seconds, the entire slum springs into action, whisks away the laundry, and the entire place packs up.
Alright guys, it is monsoon season here in Mumbai and the storm is rolling in, so I think we are done with this laundry slum tour. You've got to keep those clothes dry, right? Let's get out of here.
Guys, that is it for Drahavi. But if you enjoyed this video, you should check out my video.
People, we reached the end of the video, guys. This is a documentary how to live. Not even that, how to survive, bro. Surviving in India, bro. Trust me, it is very rough, tough. It is very rough and tough like stone. Yeah, I would survive. I would survive. You understand? Yes, people. So y'all reach the end of the video as what I said. People subscribe right now. Thank you very much for the subscribe. and do subscribe to this music channel named One Code Music. Okay, yes, I play Indian music over there as well. All different type of genre, dancehall, calypso, soca, dembo. Yes, people, I'm out.